To order of the July 9th, 2018 regular meeting of the City of Coolidge City Council. First order of business is the invocation. Pastor John Johnson of the Community Presbyterian Church will do the invocation, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance when we're done.
May I say how comfortable I always feel when I come before you. I feel very warmly greeted, and I like that. As we're experiencing the way the Creator has provided that the water shall indeed fall, my invocation is very simple. May the blessings that fall upon you as you do the business for the citizens of Coolidge be as abundant as the rainfall that was falling in Florence at 3 o'clock this afternoon. In the name of the Lord I serve, amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor. Norma, do the roll call, please.
Yes, Mayor. Councilmember Jimmy Walker. Councilmember Steve Hudson.
Here.
Councilmember Robert Huddleston.
Here.
Mayor John Thompson.
Here.
Vice Mayor Jackie Henry.
Here.
Councilmember Joseph Marsh.
Here.
And Councilmember Tatiana Murrieta.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you, Norma. Under presentations, the first one. Proclamation for Drowning Impact Awareness Month, August 2018. I'm going to read the proclamation. Drowning Impact Awareness Month, August 2018. Whereas Arizona's future prosperity depends upon the long-term health, safety, and well-being of nearly 2 million children and teens in our state. And whereas drowning is a top cause of injury and death for children and teens in Arizona, affecting not only the victims, but also the families, emergency personnel, and our society as a whole. And whereas child drownings are nearly 100% preventable, including drownings which are classified as maltreatment and make up an average of 1 in 4 cases in Arizona. And whereas research-proven strategies can save lives, including constant and capable supervision, restricting access to water, use of life jackets, swimming lessons for adults and children at appropriate age, rapid emergency response, including CPR and safe, stable, and nurturing relationships and communities to break the cycle of maltreatment. And whereas awareness of the problem is just the first step. Evidence-based programs to bring these strategies to families is the best way to save lives. And whereas during the month of August, Phoenix Children's Hospital, in collaboration with state and local governments, community organizations, and private citizens, will be engaging communities throughout Arizona in a coordinated and comprehensive response. Now therefore, I, John Thompson, Mayor of Coolidge, do hereby proclaim August 2018 as Drowning Impact Awareness Month and urge all communities and citizens of Arizona to participate in efforts to reduce drowning risk, strengthen families, and protect children and teens. Number 5, monthly report and business spotlight recognitions by the Coolidge Chamber of Commerce. Good evening, Lynn.
Good evening, Mayor Thompson, Vice Mayor Jackie, and Council. We don't have a spotlight for this month. I apologize. But our our membership renewals for this month are for May. I'm sorry. I've been on vacation. I can't get back at the group. I recommend it to everybody. Disabled American Veterans, also known as DAV, Pinal County, Stinger Welding, Hohokam Irrigation and Drainage District, A3 Tutors, Homestead Apartments, American Family Insurance. New members are Joe's Tree Service and Paychecks Payroll Services. Our stats for this month are our website hits are down a little bit at 215,063. Our walk-ins for May were 601. They're up a little bit. Phone calls 297, down a little bit. We sent out 1 relocation packet to Page, Arizona. Top states that visit us was California and Wyoming. top foreign. We had nobody from any foreign countries visit us in May. What a good month to visit us. The weather's great. Casa Grande ruins are 3,273 for the month of May. It's down. This could have affected us with the increase in our fees that we're going to be having another increase that's going to affect us. Some things that are coming up are our luncheon on July 18th. We're going to learn more about recycling. There's been a lot of questions out there, what you can recycle, what you can't. We're having our Welcome Back to CUSD on July 19th. And on July 23rd, we'll do the Welcome Back for Imagine. And July 26th, we'll have our Meet Your Candidates here. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is call to the public. This is the portion of the meeting that you may come up to the podium, and you have 3 minutes to address the council on issues pertinent to the city of Coolidge. If you do, please give your name and your address and before you address us. I'm not seeing anybody rush up there. I guess we'll move out of call to the public and move to approval of minutes, discussion, and action. Item 6, City Council regular meeting June 11th, 2018. Item 7, City Council special meeting June 25th, 2018. And item 8, City Council regular meeting June 25th, 2018. Are there any corrections or discussion regarding these minutes? If not, I need a motion to do something.
Mayor, with no further discussion, I make a motion we approve the minutes for regular meeting July 11th, regular meeting, special meeting June 25th, and regular meeting June 25th.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Business items for consent. If anybody wants me to pull any of the consent items off, let me know now, and then I can set them aside. Or if not, I will read them all and we'll vote as a block.
Number 13.
Okay. All righty. Item 9. Consider approval of appointing Monty Allen to serve on the Library Advisory Board through December 31st, 2019. Number 10. Consider approval of entering into a high-density drug trafficking area grant agreement between the City of Tucson and the City of Coolidge Police Department for continued participation in the Pinal County Drug Task Force Program HT-18-2820. Item 11, consider approval of entering into a software maintenance agreement between Tyler Technologies and the Coolidge Police Department for the purpose of maintaining the police department's CAD, records management, and field reporting programs, authorizing the city manager and the police chief to execute the agreement. Item 12, consider approval of adopting Title 546 implementation plan and updates requested by ADOT Civil Rights for 2018 for the Transit Department in compliance with the Arizona Department of Transportation and Federal Transit Administration requirements. Okay, need a motion.
Mayor, with no further discussion, I make a motion that we approve consent agenda items 9, 10, 11, and 12 as read.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item 13, consider approval of updating the city's current salary plan for fiscal year 2018-2019. I guess that's Mr. Garcia.
Gilbert, we've had, I had a question about this. I think you and I have discussed it in a little bit. Was this the salary raises for length of service for city employees?
Councilmember Marsh, actually the amendment to the salary plan is actually just to increase the ranges by 2% for a cost of living, so that this current salary plan, the longevity merit The longevity raise will go into the salary, so it moves them across the salary. The plan you're doing now, that simply moves it up 2%, which is the cost of living. And that's the beginning and ending range.
And we had that already in the plan before, the cost of living, right? For each year?
Well, there actually hasn't been true staff raises since I believe it was 2006. So this whole plan of action that we're doing to get back on is shortly after the study of 2006. It was implemented in 2007. Then there was the downturn in the economy. Since then, we haven't really been able to come back and give employees any sort of a raise or any sort of a true raise. We've had stipends, but they weren't really built into our salaries. So what we did this year is we actually put that 2% into the salaries, because the employees have been getting that the last 2 years, and then went in and gave a longevity kind of basis adjustment. That was one of the things that was called for in the studies, of a way to bring people across, since we hadn't really done a raise since 2006. That was one of the only ways that we can kind of tackle everybody and get everybody moving along the range as they should. So the 2% moves the range up as the cost of living, so they remain on the same point. But then what the longevity does is then moves employees across, so you avoid compression, or you avoid any other things you have where you may have somebody who started 10 years ago and then they're kind of bunched up with somebody who just started this year. So it relieves some of that compression along the scale. And so that was one of the recommendations in the original study of 2006. So we're just kind of acting it out now.
Gotcha. Understood. Thank you. That's all I had.
Okay, anybody have anything else?
No, sir.
I'd like to make the motion.
Go right ahead.
I move to approve item number 13 as read.
Is there a second?
Second.
Yeah, there's a motion, and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. We're going to business regular items, number 14. Ordinance number 18-14, an ordinance of the City of Coolidge, Pinal County, Arizona, levying upon the assessed valuation of the property within the City of Coolidge, subject to taxation of a certain sum upon each $100 of valuation, sufficient to raise the amount estimated to be required in the annual budget, less the amount estimated to be received from funds for various bond redemption for the purpose of paying bonded indebtedness, by providing the funds for the general municipal expenses for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2019, with a rate of 1.8759% and an amount of $857,326. Welcome back, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and members of the council, you have two options before you, and we usually do this just because the council does have an option here. We have both ordinances. At this time, staff is recommending to actually lower the rate to collect the same amount of tax as we did the prior year. So what that does is every year as evaluations increase, we either need to drop the rate, increase the rate, whatever we need to do. Usually the max you can go up is 2%. That requires truth in taxation. We chose not to do that because we knew we didn't want to raise the tax rate. So what we're asking tonight is to go with option 2. The budget was built off of option 1, but again, when we talk about budgets, we talk about the higher end, and we can always come back and approve to the lower end. The difference between these two options is only about $14,000, so it's not really going to affect my overall budget by going with option 2. I think option 2 gives us the same amount of money. We've realized some additional money in state share revenues and things that have been coming on. Tax collections have been looking a little higher, so I believe we're okay dropping that rate. You do risk that rate dropping too low at some point, but we're going from 1.90, I think it's 9026, to 1.8759, so pretty good drop. But we're going to bring in the same exact amount of money in theory if everybody pays and things like that as we did the prior year. So when you make the motion, I didn't put that recommendation in that we go with the 1.87. You have the option if you wanted to go to the other one, but.
Mr. Garcia, does this have anything to do with, this is existing homes, this new construction? Is that?
Actually, that's the difference between option 1 and option 2.
Okay.
Option 2 is to bring in the same dollar amount, so we're looking to bring in the exact same money. Option 2 is what the state will allow us to do without having the truth in taxation, which is to bring in the same amount of money plus any new growth that we would have had. So that difference in the $14,000, that's what they're classifying as the amount of money coming in based on new growth. So that's the difference between the two. That's why I brought those two options, is because technically we could bring in the same amount plus new construction, or we could bring in just the same amount. Again, we're leaving, if we decide to do this, it's only about $14,000. I don't know how the council feels about that, but like I said, either way.
Okay, anybody have any questions?
No, sir.
So the actual percentage property tax drops.
The
Goes
the
down.
levy rate that we're assessing drops. Now the valuation went up, so we have to move to bring in the same amount of money. I have to drop the rate to make it calculate to be the same amount of money.
Yep.
So the rate drops, the amount of tax stays the same.
Well, if there are no questions, I'd look for a motion.
Move to approve number 14 as written.
Second.
Okay, Norma?
Vice Mayor Henry,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsh,
Yes.
Councilmember Murrieta,
Yes.
Councilmember Hudson,
Yes.
Councilmember Huddleston,
Yes.
and Mayor Thompson.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Report from the mayor and council and our city manager. We'll start down here with Mr. Hudson.
I have nothing to add, Mayor.
Rob? Nothing on it?
I don't have anything.
I enjoyed the fireworks for the 4th of July. That was great. The festivities were wonderful. Chief, you guys are doing a great job. And Chief, your guys are doing a great job too. So please convey that from us. That's all I have.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
I have nothing.
Okay. Mr. Miller?
Just took it right after the storm tonight just to check the drainage. It looks like Main Street and Central working pretty well. I mean, it was still flowing. I went over especially and took a look at the drainage ditch along the Carter Ranch development. That ditch gets pretty full when you have a heavy rain like we did. It was probably about less than 12 inches from breaching. It breached last year. We did have a survey of that drainage channel. Matt Rencher hired a surveyor to go out and verify that that ditch has not silted in over time and that it still has the capacity that it did as the original design, and it still does. But it is a system that does provide us a little bit of problem from time to time, maybe undersized culverts or something, but it is something we keep an eye on, and our public works director and his crew generally go out there and make sure that we're not going to have any breaching or overtopping or erosion. It'll flood into the retention basins on the other side of that ditch. So things look like they're working okay tonight. If we get another big storm following this one, we might have more problem with ground saturation, but I think that's a good problem to have. We do need to have the rain for sure. I don't have anything else, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. No, I would say that the work that was done on 8th Place and the work that was done on the dry wells and the retention ponds across the tracks and the subdivision over there have paid off.
Yes.
We don't have crews out pumping every time we get sprinkles. We don't have crews all over the city pumping. So I know they were over on Taylor, but I'm not sure what they were doing over there. They said they weren't pumping, so that's good. The only thing I have to report is I've been to a lot of economic development meetings, and as well as CAG, and the economic development ones are non-disclosures, so I can't really say much. But the city, Coolidge is in being involved in a lot of that, and I think that things are going very well. So, if nobody has nothing for the good of the order, I'd look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
So, okay, motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for coming out.